Hello, everyone. We are live on Facebook for our Wellness Wednesday health chat. And today we have a special guest. She's actually a friend of Kim's. And so we're going to let Kim introduce her. Take it
I am.
away.
Thank you. I'm super excited to have this guest today because her name's Regina Bauscher, and I met her back in 2019 when there was a goat yoga event, and that was when goat yoga was the rage everywhere. And so it was local here in Cincinnati, so I had to do it, and it was so much fun. By the way, it was more goat than yoga because these little baby goats were jumping all over us and on our shoulders, on our heads. I remember it was laying down and Rome was nibbling on my hair, and they were just so precious. So anyway, and then I talked to Regina afterwards because I thought I wanted to learn her story a little bit, and also I said, your skin looks beautiful. Like, what do you use for your skin? And so she told me some goat products. And so I started purchasing some products from her. And I gotta show, this is one of my favorites. This is goat milk soap. And this is goat and avocado facial. So I use this on my face every morning. I love this. And so anyway, I want her to tell her story about how she got started in this because it's really fascinating. She's a chemist by background, which is very cool. And so I think, Regina, please tell us a little bit more about you, how you got started in all things goat.
Okay, well, hi Kim. Thank you for having me today. I really appreciate that. I remember that goat yoga session quite well. And it was a lot of fun to do that. We did it on the side with our animals as we operated our business, Honey Sweetie Acres. And it was kind of a business by accident. As you mentioned, I have a chemistry background and was familiar with formulating skincare products for the company that I work for. My husband had a skin condition, and he would crack and split and bleed or on his hands. And he'd go to the dermatology and they'd give him the steroids and it'd get a little bit better, but it would never really heal. And I knew that goat milk was, a beauty ingredient. So I formulated some soaps for him. And in 30 days, he cleared completely
Wow.
and has never
Amazing.
had it since. Um,
Wow.
so we kind of joked around and family and shared it with family and friends, and they're like, "You have to sell this stuff." So we went to some farmers markets and with ten different scents. And long story short, we now have a production facility in Owensville, and we've been in business for 15 years. And we sell on Amazon, Whole Foods, a whole bunch of places locally in Cincinnati. And we just signed with a distributor and we're looking into export. So,
Wow.
dream come true in a lot of ways. Yeah, never really expected to go this route, but it was an accident that happened.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing. So and that's interesting that you knew that goat products were healing, that you came up with a soap for your husband. So which soap actually was it that he used that healed him? And I assume it's in your line.
It was just unscented, but what it is, it was the formulation of the specific fatty acids that we used
Mm-hmm.
for it. And when a person's having that kind of reaction going on, you don't want fragrance, you don't even want essential oil, you want as pure as possible. So it
Yeah.
was just unscented at that time. And we branched out from that, but yeah, and he still uses soap to this day and has never broke out since.
Yeah,
Wow.
I've gotten several of your goat soaps, like the big bars, like you keep in the shower. I've gotten several of those. Those are really good. And I love the smell. They have a set. I've gotten the scented ones. I think I tried the unscented one too. But I wanted to ask you, is there anything you use for eczema that really helps with eczema? Because I have a couple clients that are struggling with eczema.
Well, one of the renowned eczema fighting ingredients is something called dragon's blood resin. And
Okay.
it's a resin, it's blood red, and it comes from the Demetrops tree. And there is a fake dragon's blood resin scent, by the way, and that's not what you want.
Okay.
This resin, it's actually got a waxy feel to it. As I said, it's blood red. You can purchase it, but it's an ideal ingredient in a cream. We have what's called epi-soothing cream, and the primary ingredients in that are one, dragon's blood resin, rose geranium essential oil, a little bit of peppermint essential oil, and a little bit of clove bud. It takes the pain, the inflammation, and the dragon's blood actually rebuilds cellular structure. It stops the itching, it stops the inflammation. There's a whole, all kinds of research that have supported it in the treatment of eczema. And this cream has worked on a variety of people.
I'm going to recommend that. It's called
Okay.
Epi.
It's called Epi Soothing Cream.
Okay.
It is on Amazon under our name, but you
Okay.
would in the search bar you would put Epi Soothing Cream.
Okay. And
Hey,
just because,
Regina. Oh, I'm sorry.
no, go
So
ahead.
you said that you said you're a chemist, but you also told Kim and I before you also specialize in what with the oils. What do you call? What is it that you have?
I'm a certified aromatherapist. All right.
Okay, so the
So
two of
what that
those.
is, you look when you become a certified aromatherapist, not only do you study all the essential oils and their chemistry, but what their reactivity is, what the skin safe limits are,
Mm,
because it varies wildly. Essential oils are Mother Nature's chemicals, and they need to be respected. And too many people use them willy-nilly and use
yeah.
too much of them and end up developing allergies as a result.
Oh.
So they're a situation where a little dab will do you. And we are very careful in which essential oils we put in soap. Not all can go in soap. And some of them are a lot more sensitive than others. For example, we use clove bud. Clove bud is in our clove nutmeg soap. But clove can be very irritating at high levels. And
Hmm.
so we use a minute amount, it's a very strong oil. And we still get the clove sensation, but we don't aggravate the skin.
So
Wow.
it's funny that you say that because I have made like homemade scrubs,
Hmm.
things like that. Now I'm a little nervous. I
Okay.
went by a
Well,
recipe that I found on Pinterest. I don't think I killed anybody, but
well, let's just take a rule of thumb here. Anytime you use an essential oil and you're not familiar with its components or constituents, use less than 1% of your formulation. A
okay.
0.5% is even safer.
Okay.
Um, Most commercial products that you buy off the shelf do not have more than 1.5.
Gotcha.
But I always err on the side of caution and go for one or less than 1% of
Okay.
the entire formulation.
I think
So,
I'm good then.
okay. All
That's
right.
good.
That's great. So I would like to know your skincare routine that you do.
Well, mine is avocado facial first thing in the morning too. And
Mhm.
then I sometimes, if I'm particularly dry or feel dry, I use our facial cream, goat milk facial cream. If there's problem areas or if I'm going to go, say, Florida, Texas, where it's really intense, then I'll switch to the serum. The serum is very lightweight. The facial cream is a little heavier. So it kind of depends upon the weather, which one I'm going to use. Now, I have clients who use both
Uh,
on at night. It's because everybody's skin is different,
Mhm.
and it depends how much water you drink, how hydrated your skin is to how much you're going to need extra hydration from products like these. People who drink a lot of soda pop, coffee, um, what do you call them? Beverages, sparkling beverages,
oh,
Uh-huh.
carbonation. If you do a lot of that, you're going to have drier skin.
I did
hmm.
not know that.
Yeah.
And I don't like
Interesting.
carbonation. So
The
that's good.
coffee makes sense to me, but the
Yeah.
carbonation I didn't really ever think about. Yeah.
Well, carbonation also hurts your bones. It contributes
Yeah.
to
I
osteoporosis.
did know that.
Hmm.
That I did know because I know like that's why I don't drink soda pop,
Mhm.
I don't drink that at all. So that I knew, but that's interesting about the carbonation overall. Is your serum more of an oil though?
No. Here we have it here with me today. Here it is right here. It is
Okay,
not oily. It is not greasy. It has the goat milk. It's based in a number of oils that absorb very easily into the skin, like your sunflower and
okay.
your
Oh, so
safflower.
it's got oils in it. It's
Oh
got,
yeah. Oh, definitely.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I mean, you have to, anytime you have oil and water together, you've created an emulsion. And it's the vitamins that are added and other things that gives you the texture. So it's very, very light and it absorbs immediately.
Okay, cool. I think I got some of that. I haven't tried it yet. I think I have some though, because,
And it's
um,
unscented as well. So
okay. Yeah, it's nice having those that they so get, they don't feel like castor oil is so different. That's like, this sits,
it's
it's so
heavy.
sticky. It's heavy.
It's very heavy. Yeah.
Yeah.
We use it in the soap to help with lather, to naturally increase the lather, but
Okay.
it's not a large percentage of the soap formulation. It, once again, a little dabble do you.
That's good to know. Do you have any other products that like help with, I don't know, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, like poison ivy or other skin conditions?
We have a jewel weed soap. It's very seasonal. It's excellent for poison ivy. It's made from the extract. We actually get the jewel weed from the creek bank and the river bank, and we make the extract. And then you put that into the soap. It's a very dark extract. Um, and you can use the bar, and if you're broke out with poison ivy and you have a rash, you can put the bar right on the rash and rub it, and it will help to dry it up. It also soothes it. It also reduces the itching.
Okay,
So it's a real popular product, particularly this time of year.
sure. Yeah,
It
it's
is
feel
seasonal.
What
yep.
about like for to combat like insects or mosquitoes? Because I know I've bought soap before for like
Mhm.
to keep mosquitoes away. Is there anything in the goat line for that?
We have a what's called a camping bar,
Okay.
and it has a variety of essential oils in it that do ward off insects. It does have citronella oil. Now, this is from the citronella plant.
Hmm.
There is citronella synthetic oil, and you'll find that in a lot of the hardware stores in your wicks for around your porch and your
Mhm.
candles and things. That's a synthetic form. We get it from the grass, which comes from India.
Love
So
that.
that is the oil that we use that in the soap. We also use cedar wood because cedar is a anti-insect oil.
Yep.
Lavender is an anti-insect oil. So it's a combination of three different essential oils in the camping bar. And people have told me that they have washed with it and then gone on a hike and not been bitten as they would have been expected to be.
That's good. Good.
That is so good to know
I'm
because,
glad you said
yeah,
too synthetic, um,
yes.
because
There's
you
a lot
said
of people who don't realize that citronella oil, there is an actual botanical oil called
Mm.
citronella.
okay.
And so there's a big difference. And if you're in the hardware store and you're looking for something, read the ingredients to make sure that you've actually got the actual oil.
So my question too, you said earlier about the other soap that you have sunflower oil and safflower that you put in it. So
Mhm.
those aren't the bad synthetic,
No,
just
no.
because someone
The
listening to
those
this, because Kim and I have talked about the evil oils before.
right.
So yeah.
For consumption, yeah.
Yeah.
In our soap, we use extra virgin olive oil. We do not use pumice. Pumice oil is the cheapest, lowest quality, but it makes soap accelerate. So
Mm,
when you're making it, so we use extra virgin olive oil, and I've had people tell me, "Well, what a waste! You know, you should only use that in food." Well, it makes a difference in the soap too, because
yeah,
we're putting forward enzymes and vitamins and nutrients to the skin. So it's good to have it in the soap as well.
sure.
We also use the coconut oil. We use what's called RSPO palm oil, meaning we can trace palm oil all the way back to the plantation where it was grown. And that way we empower the indigenous citizens to make a living with the palm rather than the deforestation of the rainforests.
Nice.
And it's a program, and it's only certain suppliers have it, but we have to have RSPO certified palm oil. It's a wonderful ingredient for soap. It contributes hardness, it contributes lather, and it's also conditioning. So that's why we use it in soap. Then once again, we use the castor for the lather. Sometimes when olive oil the last 2 years went through the roof in cost. So
Mm,
we had to find another fatty acid that had the same properties. And so you look for what's called a high oleic oil, oleic fatty acid.
mhm.
So that was safflower. So we found high oleic safflower, and it didn't change the recipe, but it was able to mitigate the cost with the olive. So all of those together, and then we add in two butters. We add in shea butter, and we add in sal butter, S-A-L.
Okay.
It has wonderful properties. We had to switch to it. We used to do cocoa butter, and I love cocoa butter, but it's gone through the roof in price.
Mm.
Hmm.
What I used to pay $50 for a large cube went to over 700.
Oh
It
my
it was
gosh.
crazy. And well, you notice how much chocolate went up. So
Mm,
um, there we go.
yeah.
So we switched to Sal, and Sal has done very well in the recipe, and we're sticking with it going forward.
Okay. That's cool that you know how with your background and you can swap out things and
Yeah.
still get what you want, you
Well,
know.
it takes testing. You have to test
Sure.
it, but you at least have an idea of, well, maybe this one will work.
Mhm.
And we were fortunate with Sal because I tried some others that just it didn't work. And I had to make sure that the customer could not tell a difference, you
Oh,
know.
absolutely. Yeah. I love that camping bar idea because when we go down to Little Cayman every year, there's bugs, there's little no-see-ums. I wonder if
Oh,
Oh,
that'll
yeah.
help with if that soap's on my body, that'll help.
It should help. Everybody's body chemistry is different.
Mhm.
And some of us attract bugs much easier than other people, and I'm one of them.
Yeah, they like me too. Yeah. That's so I see all the awards behind you. Are those for your goats? When you
Yes,
show your goats? Why don't you talk
those
about this a little bit?
Those are for the goats. We raise Nigerian dwarf goats, and we're very concerned with the quality of the milk and therefore the butterfat content in the milk. So when you raise goats, you do what are called milk tests. And you can do a monthly, quarterly, annually. But basically, these tests, you take samples from every animal, you send it into a laboratory, and they come back and tell you how much butterfat you have, how much protein, what your somatic cell count is. That's a measure of bacteria, and you want to be under 500. Well, we were always under 100
Wow,
because the cleanliness of our process in sourcing the milk. So that was important, but then also the amount of production. And the better the production the animal has, the more likely it is to achieve these awards. So we've done very well in the competitive Nigerian dwarf world.
that's pretty
wow.
cool. And I do have to say, when we were at the goat yoga, you offered us everybody a little glass of raw goat milk, and
Uh-huh.
I was like a little trepidatious about trying it because I was thinking it's going to taste goaty. But oh
Most
my
people.
gosh, it was the best milk I've ever tasted in my life. And I grew up on cow's milk, and I always loved milk. And when I tasted that, I said, "Holy cow, where do I get this?" And I remember you said, we can't sell our raw milk. You got to do a herd share, I guess, which was kind of complicated to me at the time. So I don't know. But anyway, I was like, oh, I got to sneak over there and steal your milk because it's like, it was so good. It was
Well,
like,
part of that, honestly, it's two things. Part of that was the breed, Nigerian dwarfs. They make 6 to 10% butterfat in the milk, so that's a very creamy, tasty milk.
Mm,
Uh,
good.
that is the breed, but also it's bigger breeds who have less butterfat tend to get that goaty flavor
Mhm.
sooner, usually within a few days. Nigerian milk, as long as you flash chill it and get it cold immediately, it can last up to 10 days before you'll detect any of that. And that's just natural bacteria that you're tasting,
Mhm.
and that's desired in goat cheese.
Yeah.
So if you're making goat cheese, you have to use raw milk, first of all, but you almost want that milk to age a little bit to get that flavor profile in
mm.
there.
Wow. It was just amazing. And I was like, oh man, I would love to like drink that every day because it was so good. And I went down a rabbit hole and studied. I said, goat milk is so healthy for you.
It
Oh, it's
is.
and it's very digestible, or people who are lactose intolerant. It's usually easier on your gut, and it is good for your gut health because it's got prebiotics in it and just a lot of other minerals and vitamins. So
Well, and the big thing is the size of the fat molecule.
Mm,
In goat milk, the fat molecule is very, very tiny. And that's why it's so easy to digest. And
Hmm.
that's why they give it to
mm,
infants. Where the cow milk has a much bigger molecule, it's
okay.
harder to digest, and people who are lactose intolerant can't drink it,
Right.
can't digest that fat.
Mm.
And when you see raw cow milk and you set it on the shelf, the fat will separate off and then you'll have the milk below. In goat milk, it takes 4 to 5 days for that separation to happen. And it's not real clear because it stays naturally homogenized. You don't have to force the homogenization the way you do with cow milk in the store.
Hmm.
So why can't we get raw goat milk? That might be a stupid
In the
question.
state of Ohio, you're not allowed to sell it for human consumption. You can sell it for pet consumption, but
Hmm.
not human consumption. And it has a lot to do with the dairy lobby not wanting it to come into the market. And it's really a shame because there are a lot of goat farmers who would love to sell their milk. They simply dump it in their backfield. And it's such a terrible
Oh,
waste.
I want to
yikes.
come over there and get it from them before they dump it.
We've never dumped. We've always had it for soap or for our own
Mm.
consumption. But yeah, it does kind of force you into, if you're really serious about it, almost owning a goat.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know. But I should
There you
say
go,
like
Kim. You got the
I
room for
know.
it.
I should say the only pets we have are goldfish in our backyard pond. And I should say,
Okay.
I need raw goat milk for my goldfish. And I'll drink it. Anyway, wow, this has been so eye-opening and interesting. And I just love hearing about all of the goat products and stuff. And I know you say now you're selling on Amazon because you used to sell on your website, your own personal
Right,
website, right? And so
right.
how are you sure? And we can be confident that we're getting your products on Amazon, right?
Yes, you can because we work with one particular distributor, and he's in Kentucky. He comes up and picks it up and takes
Okay.
it to Amazon. And now I will sometimes say it won't be our name. It'll be our product, but it'll say distributed by EHT Flags. That's still us. That's our
Okay.
distributor's name. So don't be turned off by that.
Okay.
Um, only if it would say some other name other than that would there be a concern, but I'm not selling it to anybody else to put on Amazon. We have an exclusive with them
Okay.
just to prevent that sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay,
But
good. Good to know.
we can get your link to your Facebook or to your web page.
Mhm.
And is there a link that we could use through Amazon that you could get
Well,
or
if you go to our website and you go to the product and you click on the product, it automatically takes you to Amazon
okay. Okay,
on the
good.
website. Now, we
So,
do sell to businesses. We have a wholesale portal on our website that businesses can go in and purchase from us. But retail customers either have to go to a local store or to Amazon. We changed our business structure because we were growing so fast. You
Mm.
just can't do it all.
yes.
And we had to have some form of a semi-retirement a little bit to where we could step away. And so going business to business enabled us to do that.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
And I have two more questions. One is, do you still have products in Jungle Gyms? Because I've
Yes,
seen,
we do. Both
okay,
Eastgate and Fairfield.
okay. And my other
If
question is,
only I wanted jungle gyms.
I know
Oh,
Jungle Gyms is crazy here.
I love
Um,
it.
it's an event to go to. And can you tell how you got the name Honey Sweetie Acres? I know there's a
Oh,
story.
okay. It is an interesting story. When we got serious about making the soap and we were trying to figure out a name for the farm, it took a little while. We really weren't sure what we were going to do. And one night we were watching television and we were watching a TV program called Man, Woman, Wild. And it was a Army Ranger and his photojournalist wife. And they would drop them in the most inhospitable places on the planet, like the Amazon, the jungles of Borneo, the Sahara, and they would show the interrelationship between husband and wife in all of these reality episodes. And this one particular episode, he kept saying to his wife, honey, this, honey, that, sweetie, honey, sweetie, do this, do that. And I mean, it was almost gag worthy. And I looked over at my husband and I said, you see? A man can get his wife to do about anything if he uses words like honey and sweetie more often. And of course, I got the typical husband snort of derision and rolled his eyes. And so that I thought that was the end of that. Well, I left to go on a business trip for the coming week. And when I got home and I drove down the driveway, there was this big sign above the goat pen, Honey Sweetie's Goat Farm.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I canvassed the customers and I said, guys, I really think this is too cutesy. And all of our customers wrote back and said, don't change it. It's awesome. There's a story behind it. So we became Honey Sweetie Acres.
I
I
think that's
love
cute.
it. Plus, little goats are honey sweeties anyway.
They
So
are.
it's perfect. Yes.
They are sweeties. I call them sweetie pies all the time.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. That's
that's
awesome.
that is really cute. Wow. Well, thank you so much, Regina, for sharing this.
Thank
And
you.
you're welcome. We'll put the link in our website. If people can just Google Honey Sweetie Acres, right?
Yes, they sure can. HoneySweetieAcres.com.
Okay. And yeah, I love your goat products. I've been using them and I've used your lotions too. I am going to get the camping soap and the jewel weed soap, I think, just to have on hand because we have poison ivy around our property and
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
always
that
afraid of
just because you just said on hand. So is there like an expiration for the
getting.
soaps or the
On soap,
creams?
no.
Okay.
Okay, because soap only gets harder and milder as it ages because it
Okay.
continues to lose any water that's in it. So it will continue to get denser and denser and denser. So older soap is actually milder
Okay.
than new soap. So no, as long as you keep it in an area that's not highly humid or
Hmm.
high temperature, it can last for years. I actually have a test bar at work that's over 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
yeah, we let people smell it and touch it and they're amazed. And if I wanted to use it in the shower, I could.
Well,
Okay.
I'll be going to Amazon today.
All
So
right.
can't wait to try it.
Yes. I'm so excited to have you. I'm glad it worked out. And we will keep in touch, Regina.
Okay.
And if anybody has any questions, we'll tag you on this. Is Honey Sweetie Acres public on Facebook? Should be.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
we'll tag Honey
That's
Sweetie Acres on
Facebook.
this
Mhm.
too.
They can reach out through there with a message, or they can even email me, Regina@honeysweetieacres.com.
Okay, perfect. I'll
That's
put that in there
awesome.
too. So,
Okay.
good. Well, thank you. And you
Thank
guys all
you.
have a great day. And as we always say at the end, we always say have fun and live young and enjoy life because that's what it's about.
Yep.
Amen. All
Yeah.
right. Thank
All right.
you.
Take care. All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.